Hi, I am with Bill Blagg, and he will be at Wharton Center next weekend presenting Family Magic with Bill Blagg. And he's going to share a little bit about what to expect, some fun things, and we'll just see what he has to say today. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Where are you talking to me from?
I'm broadcasting live from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh, just on the other side of the pond.
Other side of the pond. Pretty big
So
pond, but
I read somewhere, I think it was from the Wharton press release, that you were, this all stemmed from a magic book.
it did. My great grandfather for my 10th birthday. I got a magic set for Christmas when I was a kid, and I played with the pieces a little bit. And my great grandfather and I would write each other letters back and forth. We were pen pals. And when he learned about my interest in magic, turns out he was an actual amateur magician. So he
Oh,
would write me back. I actually have some of the letters. He would write me back letters and give me ideas for different things and tricks that I could build with things around the house. And when he saw that I was really latching on to this idea of doing magic and performing magic, he sent me a 3-volume series called the Harlan Tarbell Course in Magic for my 10th birthday that he had since 1952. They were the original printing that he sent to me. And they hang out back here on my shelf in my office.
very cool. That's awesome. Now, what should families expect when they attend the show at Wharton Center?
They should expect the unexpected. The Family Magic is a relatively new show for us. Being a parent myself, I have a son who's 4.5 and a daughter who is now 2 weeks old tomorrow. Uh, it was interesting. I'd always had this dream to tour the country with this big full-scale magic and illusion show growing up in the 80s and 90s with the David Copperfield TV specials. I'm like, that's what I want to do someday. It's been interesting, though, as we've traveled the country for over 20 plus years now. I realized there was never a type of show that you could bring the family to for an affordable ticket price that was what I would consider an appropriate family time. Like I don't want to take my son to the magic show at 7:30 at night on a Saturday. And that got my gears spinning last year. And I was like, you know what? What if we create this new show that is 65 minutes long? So it's not this intermission, whole 2-hour ordeal with parents having to manage that whole thing. But it could be a show that's fun for all ages. So 4, 5 years old, all the way on up to grandma and grandpa. There's something in the show for everybody. It's amazing. It's engaging. It's not too long, and most importantly, it's affordable and it's a ton of fun and something different to go do. And that's where Family Magic came from.
That's great. And a 2-week-old, congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope you get a nap after this.
I hope too.
We have one question that the 9-year-old around here wanted to ask, and she's
Okay.
kind of out. They're off school today, but we're gonna just ask it. I can't read it.
That happens with 9-year-olds.
She wants to know, do you ever get nervous before performing or performing a really big trick?
The answer is yes. I actually just had this conversation with somebody I'm mentoring last week, and I get nervous before every single show. And it's not nerves like you would think of, oh my gosh, is everything going to be okay? Is the magic going to work? Is the audience going to like it? We do our homework on that side of things. So we rehearse, we stage, we practice, we make sure that we know that the production as a whole, everything's going to function. It's more nerves from a happy place. I tell people if I have a show where I'm not nervous, then that means maybe it's time for me to hang up the magic wand and the top hat because it means to me that I care. I care about the show that we're about to have and the experience, and I'm excited and ready to get things started. So yes, I get nervous before every show, but it's a happy place of nervousness, not a I hope this is going to work.
Right, because you know it's gonna work. Well, that leads me into the next question, I guess. What happens if do you ever have situations where it doesn't?
You
Or
know
where it
what?
doesn't go quite right?
We've been touring now for just over 23 years. I've been performing magic for over 33 years. And in that time, professionally, I could count on one hand the amount of times that something didn't work. And out of those times, I think one Two were in front of a live audience.
So you have all the
And
you have all the bugs worked out. The kinks
you
are gone.
got the bugs worked out. But if it goes wrong, I mean, I believe what I said to the audience is, folks, it's live entertainment and it's live magic, and sometimes things don't go the way we hope and plan. And when that happens, we just move on. And that's what we did. We just moved on, and nobody seemed to give a care about it by the end of the show. So it's live entertainment. There's no pauses and repeats.
What about kids that may be interested in like if they see your show and they're like, oh, I like that. I want to do more of that or learn more. What other than the original series of a book you have, which they probably can't do have access to, but what would you
This is
suggest
gonna
for them?
I would suggest, well, let's see, in things when I learned magic were a lot different. Like we had to learn magic from books. So it was
Mm-hmm.
the local library, the illustrated instructions, trying to follow these steps along. Uh, Kids today, I mean, you could simply hop on YouTube and beginner magic tricks and find some real quick things that you're able to learn, visual lessons that are accompanied with video. We all learn differently. Some people learn better by reading, some people learn better by seeing. Uh, it's not a shameless plug, but I designed my own magic kit about 5 years ago. And I designed it from a place of going, your exact question, like if I was starting magic, but if I was 7 years old, or if I was 12, or if I was 17, where would I start and what would I want? And I literally designed a magic kit from that place that would encompass all ages and be able to provide them with things that you could start from and continually move through them if you don't make all the pieces magically disappear and lose them like I did when I was a kid. But I literally designed my own magic set, and and this is not a shameless plug. I didn't know you were going to ask this,
Well,
but
still
it's the
though,
Bill
cool. It's
Blagg
nice to
magic
know.
set. It's got 375 tricks, a bunch of cool stuff in there, and it's available at Amazon.com if you just search Bill Blagg magic set.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
you can find them on there. And there's a ton of super cool things in there. Some of the first magic tricks that I started with. There's some of the things that are actually in our family magic show that the
Oh,
audience can learn that's in the kit. So yeah, it's a great place to start. Didn't go after the shameless plug, but
hey, we
obviously if you're
asked,
gonna
now
you got to
people,
go
now
for the
that
Bill Blagg magic kit if you're gonna start.
you showed that, and I remembered a Fisher Price magnet or magic kit that my son, or not my gosh, my brother got when we were so young, and it had this the wand and the flower popped out of the
The
end,
flowers, yeah,
and these
yeah.
like things with three boxes, and he was
With
doing
the
something.
different colored doors, like the
Yeah,
pink and the blue and the
I
yellow.
think
You
we
know
might have
exact.
had the same thing.
I think so. I think
That's
so.
funny. So, okay, well, the holidays are coming, and you're gonna have a pretty special holiday this year. And it's such a magical time of year. Do you have a favorite trick or an illusion that captures holiday spirit that you have planned, or one that you could frame that way?
Uh, it's not so much. So the Family Magic Show, in a sense, isn't necessarily themed towards the holiday
Mhm.
season. Uh, could you dress magic up and do it that way? Sure. Uh, our style of magic and the style of the show itself is just it's very authentic. So as opposed to, I don't even want to use the word gimmickry or anything like that, but uh, there's not anything specifically like geared towards the holiday season.
Okay,
But in a way, there's something that's present in the show about the magic of us all just being together and sharing that time with friends and family and people who are close, which I mean, it definitely ties into the holidays. It's not necessarily about the big man himself and the reindeer or any of that sort of
sure.
thing, but there's an underlying message there that people connect with through the magic and the experience that happens during the show. It's really cool.
Well, very good. Thank you for taking time to chat with us today, or me.
Absolutely.
And like I mentioned before, we had planned to have both of us, but it just didn't work. And traveling and holidays, and then you get to take a nap and then plan for Thanksgiving tomorrow and all the stuff. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night either, so I'm
I don't know if that nap's going to happen today, but it does sound
you
really
can think
good.
about it. I mean, yeah, you have
I'll think
many things
about it.
you
I'll just
have other people to chat
man
with besides me, but
manifest it.
we look forward to checking it out. I think I'm going to take my daughter, and
Awesome.
I'm curious to. I mean, I'm in that you were inspired by the same Fisher Price toy that I play.
Yeah.
as a child. It's
Yeah, that's pretty
crazy.
cool.
So
The it's funny because people ask me like, was there like one magic moment? Was there like something in your childhood that when you saw that you were like, oh, wow. And I have to say, this is because it's in my kit and it was in the Fisher Price kit. And it was the very first trick that I saw somebody else do. And it was one of my teachers in elementary school. And I didn't know that the secret to that trick was in that kit. And my teacher, he walked into class one day. You might remember this. He walked into class and he had this little like silk handkerchief
uh-huh.
and he rolled his sleeves up and he looked at the class and he said, I'm going to grab a little magic out of the air. And then he tucked the handkerchief inside of his hand. He just tucked it inside like this, all the way down. And then he went, boom. And the moment that it disappeared, everybody, we all freaked out. And that for me was like the what? And then finding that it was in that kit and learning that, that's when the whole process began for me. So that's really cool that you had the same experience with that Fisher
That's
Price kit.
crazy. I mean,
That's so
that's
awesome.
awesome. So,
Yeah.
well, I appreciate your time. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week, and we hope that your holidays is just magical.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. We'll see you in Michigan.